Welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You, a podcast
hosted by yours truly, Nikki Limo
and Steve Green. And today, indeed, we last week gave quite a bit back to Reddit.
Yes.
And this week we are taking.
Oh, we get to take?
Yeah, we're taking from them.
Num num num.
And they have a lot of, if you go to Reddit, Am I the Asshole? They have a lot of quandaries for us to ponder.
I've heard.
And the first quandary is, am I the asshole for refusing to cook for my wife anymore after she ate 3 of my meal prepped meals? In my household, my wife doesn't cook. She sucks at it. And it's just easier on our taste buds if I cook for us. Earlier this year, we both decided it was time for us to get back in shape. I decided to research some macro calorie-friendly cooking recipes and got big into meal prepping. My wife stuck with it for a few weeks, but ultimately decided to quit. Luckily, this wasn't too much of an issue for me. She's a nurse and frequently works much later than I do, as my typical work day is from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I would make my meal prep meals for the week on my day off, and then I would make dinner like I did prior. When I meal prep, I make 6 days worth of 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just swap around lunch and dinner. Last week, I get called in for work, and I decided that I needed to go home and grabbed anything I needed before heading into the office. I figured that my wife would be able to make sure that she got our kid dinner that night and breakfast the next morning. The next morning, I'm running late and drive through home looking for my breakfast and lunch for the week, and they're gone. I don't have time to ask my wife, nor do I want to wake her up early before her shift, so I just go. I end up skipping breakfast and lunch. I get off of work and I'm starving and decide I'm just going to eat dinner early. And when I look for my dinner that night, it's not there.
Oh, no.
This is what set me off. And when my wife gets home, I ask her what's up, and she admits to eating the meals. I tell her that I had portioned out food for an entire day, and she ate all of it in a single night.
Oh, my God.
She said it was my fault as I didn't make anything for her and our kid to eat, and I just left the meal prepped things, so they had to eat those. We got in an argument, and she told me I was being selfish. So now I decided that I'm selfish for expecting her to feed herself for one night. I would just not cook anymore, as I'm doing a lot of work for a selfish person. For the past week, I made my meal prep meals and store them at work and let her figure out what she wants to do for dinner by herself. Of course, I still cook for our kid, but only one small portion, enough for him to eat by himself.
That's petty.
That's petty.
So petty.
I told her I would keep this up and that she should learn to cook for herself if she's not happy about it. She told me she's too tired when she comes home from work to cook, and I'm being incredibly petty. He is.
Yeah.
I think I'm justified, and I'm pushing her to learn a life skill she should have by now. Am I the asshole?
Listen, I don't think it's your job to
teach your
partner. Like, it feels very parental, but I get that you maybe feel parental because you've been doing the cooking for her and stuff. So maybe there's that nurturing dynamic, but I do think that she should apologize. I also think that it's not clear to me whether rules were set. Whether you made it clear to her, these are my meals for my work day, and it's very important to me because I only prepared it for my day and I don't have time to cook for myself. Can you take care of yourself for the night? Make it very clear. So maybe she's just getting a little worked up and be like, no, it's your fault. I don't think that that's the right approach on her end. I think that she should definitely listen and validate your feelings and apologize and moving forward, set new rules that are very clear.
Yes.
But I don't know if she'll learn the lesson this way. I think you really kind of have to be direct.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, also this is not.
It's not
cool.
It doesn't feel good for you.
This is a-hole behavior.
Exactly.
Because you're trying to routine your wife into something.
I understand your frustration, and I understand the motive behind doing it this way, but I don't think ultimately it helps your marriage. I don't think it helps your soul. I don't think it's good. The way he says
I'm justified and I'm pushing her to learn a life skill she should have by now is so condescending.
No, I don't like that.
It's so condescending, dude.
If she wants to cook, then she could listen.
She said she's tired.
Yeah, Steve didn't cook for most of our relationship, and I never felt like that was some life skill he needed to learn. But this year he just started cooking on his own free will. Like he just really wanted to learn how to cook, I guess, and he's really good at it now.
No, I got sick of you roasting me.
I used to ban him from using the pots and pans because not only did he scratch all my non-stickware by using metal utensils on them, which drove me fucking nuts, but also all of his food
don't do that.
Smelled. It was burned. It was bad. It created foul odor in the kitchen. I just genuinely didn't want him cooking, and I didn't care if he learned how to or not.
It's a fair characterization.
But this year he really stepped it up, and like he's been cooking up a storm. He's like a chef.
Yeah, I cook all kinds of shit.
He makes me food all the time. It's amazing.
Yeah, I do.
But when he can't make me food, I order Taco Bell.
That's exactly what you do.
That's what I do.
That's exactly what you do.
I don't feel like cooking. I'm too busy.
Yep. And you're too hungry.
I'm too hungry. I'm cranky. I'm going to like explode on either him or a cat. So I have to go to Taco Bell to take care of my needs.
Yep.
Taco Bell makes it very easy for you to feed yourself and maybe a child.
Maybe a small baby. Yeah, I think you're being an asshole, kind of.
Yeah, I think.
It sucks because she did a dick move, right? But like, dude,
the way you have to approach this is more of a, this is why it's hurt my feelings.
Yes.
You know, kind of like you really just have to be direct and be more vulnerable. And
plus, dude, I don't know, man. There's something about me where I'm like, if there's only food in the fridge for me or for me, right?
Yeah.
And Nikki is hungry, I don't want to eat anything until she's not hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just like.
But that's you.
Right.
You know, I get it.
But that's like I feel like a natural, like, I don't know, thing as a guy or whatever, or like as a partner, like that you want to take care of your person.
I think he's just feeling underappreciated right now.
I think
that's the root of it.
I think that's what it is.
That it wasn't just that she ate it and they were hungry. It's that she didn't say sorry. She didn't care about how his day went because of it.
Yeah, he was matter of fact about it.
How it affected his day. Yeah, I think that like he just maybe wanted to feel a little appreciated. And so he's taking away the thing because since she doesn't appreciate it anyway.
That's my thing is I think that she oofied, but I don't think she doofied. I don't see the doofy.
I think she has to be kind of shown where she doofied.
Right.
That's all.
That's true.
I don't think she understands
she has to be shown where she oofied because she didn't doofy. Like she didn't doofy.
I guess I don't understand the gravitas of doofy.
Doofy is like it's over. Like,
okay. No, I don't think it's over.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
I don't think it's over.
Exactly.
But I just think that like you can lay it all out for her in a more direct way, a more vulnerable way, a way that you're seeking understanding rather than to get revenge.
Yes.
I think that feels better.
Speaking of understanding, the next one, I'm very curious to your thoughts on this.
Oh.
Okay. Am I the asshole for making my husband a vegan dinner even though he's completely against becoming one?
I mean, you still eat plants. No, I mean, okay.
I, 24 male, and my husband, 25 male, have been happily married for a little over a year now. We met through a mutual friend, and he learned very quickly that I'm a vegan. About a year after we met and got closer, we started dating. He had no issues with me being vegan, but he made it very clear that I couldn't force him into being a vegan, which I respected. Mm-hmm. I have never put him down for eating meat in front of me. That's his choice. To each their own. We even served both vegan and meat-inclusive food at our wedding to accommodate both of our families. Up until now, everything was great. However, recently I've been seeing a ton of vegan recipes on my Pinterest and decided I wanted to try making one for dinner. We don't usually end up getting to have fancy dinners at home as both of us work full-time, but I found some time today to cook something up. It was a recipe for pulled pork sandwiches. Ooh, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
The jackfruit ones?
Yeah.
He seemed a little stressed about work, but I showed him the surprise dinner and it seemed to help his mood out. He ate it happily, even complimented my cooking, but when he asked what was in it, and I told him it was a pulled pork sandwich with jackfruit as a meat alternative, he lashed out.
Why?
He shouted, telling me that he made it clear he was staying a meat eater. And I tried explaining that I wasn't trying to turn him into a vegan.
Yeah.
But he just walked away. This happened a few hours back, and now he's refusing to talk to me. I feel like I might be the asshole for making him a vegan meal, even though he made it extremely clear he wouldn't become one. Because even if it wasn't my intention to make him one, I still made a vegan dinner that passed off as one with meat in it. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
I mean, I think you know how we both feel about this. I've never, I gave up eating meat. I didn't go vegan. I did go fully plant-based, which is a vegan diet for a year. And then I reincorporated fish and eggs and sometimes dairy. I don't really like dairy, but like if it gets in there while we're traveling, fine.
Yeah, whatever.
But
there's a
during
cheese in
that
your
time,
sandwich or something.
I've never made Steve switch over his diet or anything, and he's liked vegan meals. I think
vegan meals are fucking fire.
If you like it, like, what does it matter? It's not like ever changed his identity. He's eaten plenty of vegan meals. You don't magically transform into a vegan just because you ate a vegan meal and liked it.
That's the thing. You have to be secure in yourself, dude. A little bit.
You can't make your diet your identity.
And that sounds like what's happening.
Yeah.
Like
it's like everything that people accuse vegans of being. Sometimes they're that, like, because they're so adamantly, like, they're so scared of their.
Could be one of those grill master guys who thinks it's hilarious to like eat smoked ribs in front of vegan people. Which, yeah,
fine.
I get the bit.
Okay.
But like, you know.
But she's never judged him for eating meat in front of her.
Right.
It's not like she's ever tried to change him in any.
They're both he's.
Okay, sorry. He's never judged him for eating meat in front of him.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's trying to change him in any way. Like, they stuck to their rules. And you just had a delicious meal prepared for you.
Jackfruit pulled pork. That's
it's
making
good.
my mouth water. That shit's
me
good.
Too. I'm kind of craving that.
I haven't had that in a long time. Since Tasty Tuesday days.
I know. See, the reason I stopped cooking for a while, like the last thing that we read, I used to cook a lot. I did Tasty Tuesdays. I really was into learning how to cook, and I got burnt out on it. I just got burnt out. And now when I even think of cooking, I just think of all the mess you have to clean up after, and
the stress of
it really sucks the joy out of it for me.
How you forget an ingredient, I have to go to the store.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll get back into it again, but I just, I haven't really cooked in a few years because
let's be real too.
Of that.
The last really good Tasty Tuesday was the one that I hosted.
That's true.
Because I nailed that fucking recipe.
Yeah.
I made a carrot cake that Nikki says is the best carrot cake she ever had in her whole life. Which is insane.
It was really
And nobody
crazy.
saw that coming, by the way.
I didn't.
Because I'm making all this stuff, and people are seeing all the mistakes I'm making, or quote unquote, they think I'm making mistakes. I'm actually nailing it.
But see, that was actually the initial point of Tasty Tuesday. Well, it ended up being one of the points was that you could completely botch everything, and sometimes it still works out. Like it's still tasty. So you shouldn't be deterred from trying just because you don't know what you're doing yet.
I would say that you're an asshole if someone making you a meal pisses you off.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty. That is an asshole move.
Yeah, if you can't
they surprise you with a meal,
understand the root of something, like you just are offended by a meal that you ate.
Also, dude, like, look, I'm a biggest meat eater ever, but I understand the pratfalls with meat. Like, it doesn't always hold flavor like some of the other things do. Like this stupid Beyond Meat shit. I don't love it. I'll tell you right now, I don't love it.
Yeah.
But it holds flavor pretty well, actually, if you like season it and shit. So like when I make tacos for us like every week, right? We have like a taco night. And I tried doing turkey taco, or what is it?
Like you used to separate
beef.
it.
Yeah, you used to separate it.
Yeah, where you had like meat on one pan and like my Beyond Meat on the other pan.
But like we had people over, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I did both.
Yeah.
And then I liked the vegan one better because it just holds the flavor better for some reason. I don't know. I know seed oils and shit. I know. It's
not like we eat it every day.
We don't eat it every day. Once a week.
Yeah.
But I like and we used to have a vegan Thai spot next to us.
Yeah.
That we ordered from all the time because they're like, if you're going to use like fucking rubber basically and feed people fucking tasteless plastic or whatever, it better be able to hold flavor, and it does for some reason.
Yeah.
I think it just, and not all in all cases, like I'll never take vegan food over like a steak or something, but like the jackfruit pulled pork tastes to me identical. It's like insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural. It's not like so there's like a lot of different arguments you could use in there where it's like, well, I'm against seed oils. Like you said, I don't want to eat seed oils. And then your partner, you made something with seed oils. That's a completely different argument. This is just like a natural, there's nothing unhealthy about jackfruit.
And it tasted good.
He's
just got what's in it.
He's got his identity threatened.
Exactly.
Which is so weird.
He didn't even say like, this tastes whack. What a whack attack from the back of my mouth.
If roles were reversed and he fed her meat, that would be a moral issue because she gave up meat because she don't want to eat animals.
Yeah.
But you eat plants all the time. Yeah. Along with your animals, you eat broccoli. Like if you're a meat eater, like you don't just stop eating plants. Like you don't just stop eating vegetables. Like
Unless you're a real meat eater, brother.
Like unless you're on a strict carnivore diet.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Hey, no judgment if you are. I don't care.
That's a weird thing. I mean, no, not the carnivore, whatever. Like, do you. But this argument is a weird argument.
It's a weird one, man. You're just a dick if you show up at a place when someone made you a surprise meal and you're pissed about it. You're a dick.
Yeah.
Period. Full stop.
It's like, do you not eat potatoes now? Do you not eat rice? Like, what exactly is she allowed to feed you that you won't freak the fuck out about? Like, what? Like,
dude,
what?
It's the best.
It just seems kind of low IQ to me.
Yeah, it's insecure. Okay, this I'm very curious about your thoughts on. I am 37 years old, male. My girlfriend's 34. We were in a bus crash last November. My girlfriend broke her hip in 2 places and didn't walk for 2 months. Obviously, this has affected her mental health as well as her physical health. I came out of it relatively unscathed. I have a trapped nerve in my left shoulder and elbow that affects my finger dexterity, but not even close to the pain and trauma that she suffered. I was with her the whole way through recovery. I cleaned her bedpans. I changed her sheets. I took time off work after and care for her. Never thought twice about it because that's what we do for those we love, and I do love her. That was the backstory, okay? Here's the problem. I drive a motorbike. When we go places, she will sit on the back. She is understandably very, very scared and nervous of being on the road. I drive slowly. 40 kilometers per hour max. I don't know what that is. Is that slow?
I don't know. I'm not European.
Is that slow? Call Mormon. Whenever she sees someone on the pavement, she starts squeezing me with her legs. Sees a car driving.
I think it was like 25 miles an hour.
Okay. Whenever she sees someone on the pavement, she starts squeezing me with her legs. She sees a car driving even slightly erratically and squeezes me. If she sees another motorbike coming out of an alleyway, she squeezes me with her legs.
Okay.
When she squeezes me, I immediately assume something is wrong, that she might see a potential accident that I don't see. I get flustered and I think it's dangerous. It puts me on edge and it unbalances me a little bit, which is dangerous on a motorbike. In addition to that, we live in Southeast Asia. It's hot as balls out here, and the squeezing makes it even hotter, but that's a minor issue for me. For me, it's more about safety. We've talked about therapy for both of us, but it's just not in our budget as we are still paying off hospital bills. Would I be the asshole if I asked her to stop squeezing me when I drive? I wouldn't be shouting at her or anything. Just ask her and explain to her that it's dangerous and ask her to try to stop. I feel like this is a very sweet person.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with asking her. Steve does that to me sometimes when he thinks I'm like...
That's why I picked this one.
Can hit yeah, and it scares me more that he just, had a gut response to something than... It's not his fault. Like,
I'm a person in a car.
Yeah, he's a person in the car. He's not in control of the wheel. So he if we get too close to someone, he's like freaks out for a second.
Yep.
But the jolting makes me think that something already happened. And then I like freak out or slam on the brakes out of nowhere, like when I was doing just fine before. And so, yeah, it does interrupt my flow of driving in a way that I think is a little bit more dangerous because I end up slamming on the brakes and then we could have gotten rear-ended because I slam on the brakes or whatever it is. I just freak out like immediately, just think I need to stop the car.
I always think about that one time though.
Yeah.
Where we were going out of a parking garage and I said, wait, there's a guy, and I saved that man's life.
Maybe.
He would have been trapped underneath our vehicle. Our fucking 7-ton fucking electric vehicle.
Maybe a 0.25 seconds later, I would have seen it like right after you.
And I think about that man and what he's doing right now and how he says credit to Steve, big time credit.
He always says credit to Steve. And his friends don't know who he's talking about.
Nope.
But he always says it before his sentences.
Whenever he's just enjoying anything, he's like, man, credit to Steve Green. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he saved his life.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe Look,
I don't think it's wrong to if there's something that the driver didn't see or it's like, oh my God, look out or whatever. But when we're in the car and you have those jolts, it's not even your fault at all. I don't even blame you one iota. It's just a natural response that you're having to not being in control and thinking like, oh my gosh, we might hit something or I don't know.
Yeah.
But it does have the unintended response effect of causing me to
panic.
Yeah.
That I don't want.
And then I do something more erratic because of the response. Like, I think that you saw something in the road that I didn't see, or like something already happened that's wrong, and so I slam on the brakes or whatever while we're on the freeway, and that's like not
good. Not good.
So I think you should just I think telling her.
Pretty easy, yeah.
Yeah, telling her directly is fine. That's fine.
But yeah, I knew that would uncover some.
Yeah, you just wanted me to talk about that.
I did. Am I the asshole for telling my husband off? My husband, 39, and me, 33, are having our second child and my third child overall. I have a child from a previous marriage. My husband works a full-time job, and I run my own at-home bakery and sell at farmers markets. I'm maybe 4 to 6 weeks at this point, so still very early, and will be going to my first appointment in a few weeks. I've been feeling very sick the past few days, to the point that some days housework does not get done. Last night, I was up until about 1 a.m. because I felt so bad I couldn't sleep. My husband comes home from work. I tell him the dog's been crying the whole time and he's been gone. He replied back, or maybe it's that shit smell. I got upset at this and asked him what he's talking about. He apparently is talking about the mint-scented oil I had on a cotton ball to keep me from getting sick, which I tell him a little angry, well, that doesn't mean you have to be so mean about it because that oil is the only thing keeping me from getting sick. Then, from there, he sees Wendy's in the trash can and gets upset that I had taken the kids for Wendy's drive-thru for dinner and that I had not done any housework or dishes. We have no dishwasher, so I have to hand wash everything. He also proceeded to tell me the pregnant women at his work can do their job and don't feel sick.
Ew,
and
no.
I wanted me to explain to him why this is. I can't really explain why, but tried anyway, telling him, I don't know, they probably do feel as bad as I do, or maybe they have medicine to help them not feel as bad.
Or sometimes people, like some pregnant ladies, don't get motions, the morning sickness or like any of that.
Dude, people are different,
people's bodies are different, actually.
He tried to justify that it was okay for him to be upset because the house smelled bad to him. He does not like mint. That's a great smell. That's like objectively a great smell.
Get over yourself,
The AC
bro.
was on too high. Getting takeout is my answer to everything, and that he's allowed to feel how he feels. Yikes.
What a baby.
Yeah, what a baby.
Sorry that she has 4 kids, actually.
Nice. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I think your pregnant wife who's feeling sick is allowed to fucking...
But the other girls don't feel sick, and they're pregnant too at work.
Yeah, and he knows the ins and outs of their home life.
He does. This is like when Joe Jitsukawa finds out about something from one person, and he's like, that's how it is with everybody.
Yeah, all females are a monolith. Like, all of them feel the same way about everything.
Joe's like, I have a friend who runs a business like this, and this is just how it is for every single person who runs a business like that. That's my favorite shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can address things without exactly what she's saying. Like, you don't have to be mean about it. You can just say you don't prefer a mint smell. She can try to contain the mint smell somewhere else.
True.
Maybe. You getting mad at her going through Wendy's instead of wanting to cook shouldn't even be something you're allowed to bring
Especially
up.
because Wendy's uses 100% fresh beef. They don't freeze their beef. So
is that true?
It's way less trash.
Wouldn't know as a non-meat eater.
Yeah, it's way less trash.
But I think that kids are allowed to have, I mean, I eat Taco Bell when I don't want to cook all the time. As I said.
Do they freeze their beef?
So glad I don't have a controlling husband. Like, what the fuck?
I don't even know.
My wife shouldn't be allowed to have Taco Bell.
Yeah, I don't know how to get there mentally.
I don't know. I could never deal with that.
No.
There's no way on earth someone saying I'm not allowed to get certain foods if I don't feel like cooking. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't even put my mind there. It feels abusive.
Yeah, I've never been there mentally. I can only think of like being like in like those high school relationships where I was, but you're not really impacting what people's eating though.
He's berating her and he's making her feel small for his preferences.
Yeah.
It's just his preference. He doesn't like the smell of mint. He doesn't like fast food maybe, or he thinks it's...
The biggest thing here though is that he is not on his wife's team. He's taking information from work and using it against her. And he's not being sympathetic for what she's going through.
So what are you trying to say? You know, you want to be with that woman at your work? Like what are you trying to say? Why are you comparing me to them in a competitive way?
Yeah, you're not being helpful for your chick, dude. You're
yikes. That's a big yikes.
It's a
huge, big, roaring yikes.
It's a yikesies Mendices, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Jesus. Yeah, that's big.
That's a huge yikes.
That's a big time yikes.
The biggest yikes that you can create.
It truly is. It truly is. Okay. And let's see if this one's a big yikesies for you.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for not letting my parents' friends' kids play my PS5? My fiance, 28, and I, 27, moved back in with my parents after several years away due to financial issues. It is my mom's birthday on Saturday, and they're inviting their friends and their friends' kids, 6 and 8. I was told by my mother I was to keep the children occupied by letting them play on my PS5. I do not know these children. I told her that I don't want them to, and it's disrespectful for her to tell me what to do with my personal belongings and that this was a common occurrence that happened back when I did live with them, that I would come to find random children I've never met playing my PlayStation 3.
Yikes.
So it kind of dates a little bit, right? My mom was very upset and said, they are our guests. It's not unlike you to not share, and if I had friends over, I would let them play it. Here's my asshole move. I sent a text to my fiance because I predicted this would happen. I just knew this would happen.
Knew it.
But I accidentally sent it to my mom. She isn't speaking to me right now. Am I the asshole?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You're a man-child, but it's happened. It's because of, it's like a trauma response because you didn't feel like you had control over your own things when you were a child. So now in your adulthood, you're like, I can finally have control of my own things. And here comes your mom taking it away again, making control of your things. So yeah, like you're unable to see the bigger picture.
Dude,
that it's a PS5 and these are fucking kids.
It's a PlayStation 5, dude. It's for kids to play with, my guy.
Yo, that is the most. My vagina like swallowed itself. It's just sealed up.
It's real bad.
It's so dry. It's just swallowed itself.
Here's a guy who's, you know what the first comment is?
Like if my fiance got that, okay, like he sends the text and let's say it got to the fiance. If I'm the fiance, I'm like, yikes, I sleep with this guy? Like, dude, what?
Rough.
Gross.
And the way he's like, I predicted this would happen.
Yeah.
We're staying with my mom to help out with our finances. And she wants to use my personal belongings to entertain some children, even though it's a children's toy.
My game console.
Bro, dude, you got to grow the fuck up, dude.
Yikes.
You got to grow up out there, brother. What always makes me laugh about Reddit, and I do very much enjoy Reddit.
Yes.
But the people on Reddit, I think very often, and this is total stereotyping.
Yeah.
They don't have friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think very often.
Okay.
I think that they keep to themselves quite a bit. And I also think that they don't have like very successful personal relationships. And so they don't have as bodied perhaps a life palette.
Okay.
So the first comment is you're not the asshole. You don't know these children, hide the PS5 and then go on a date night with fiance.
Oh my God.
First of all, they're trying to save money. They're not going on a date night.
Yeah.
Second of all, hiding the PlayStation 5 in your mother's home.
That's so sad.
Kids can't play with it. It's the saddest thing I've ever read. You're hiding it from kids, so now kids are bored as hell. What do you mean you don't know these kids? You have to know the kids to play your PlayStation 5, dude.
That's so pathetic.
It's incredible.
I can't handle it. I mean, I guess maybe like benefit of the doubt, he's scared that the kids might break a controller and he won't be able to replace it. Maybe because they're having financial problems. But like,
dude, tell mom
life
like
is so
no peanut
short.
butter and jelly sandwiches, no bagel bites around the PS5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just give a little bit of ground rules.
Yeah, put some ground rules on there.
But my God, dude, you got to chill out there, brother.
Jesus.
Just so you can play God of War with your save file intact. Fucking
yeah, you got some issues to work out, like mommy issues. Like you have like you need to see a therapist.
Dude, every comment on this one is like, not the asshole. Also, why is it your responsibility to take care of these kids? It's like, it's not. They're putting it on the PlayStation.
Exactly.
They put it on the PlayStation, dude.
Yeah, you're being petty. You're being a petty
Not the asshole. Hide it and put a passcode on it in case they find it.
These people are so weird.
They're so weird. They all agree, though.
Like
they all agree with each other.
That's hilarious.
You're not the asshole. It's because they all have PlayStation 5s.
It's your personal possession, and you're allowed to make the rules on it. Okay, yeah, true. Technically, true.
But technically, you're not in your own home either, brother.
Yeah, and also you're just kind of being an asshole.
Yeah, you're being an asshole.
Like,
don't say you're not the asshole.
Sharing a
just
gaming
say
console.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Just say, yeah, I am an asshole. I don't like it when kids play my PlayStation 5.
Yeah, okay.
Even though a PlayStation 5
own
is
it,
for
at
kids.
least. Own it.
Even though it's for kids.
Okay, I'm an asshole, but this is my PlayStation 5. Okay, you're an asshole, at least you know.
I have a bubble machine, and I don't want any kids to use my bubble machine when they come over. And, well, hey, dude, you got to lock your bubble machine up, and you also hide the bubble liquid. And that stuff's not cheap.
So silly. I don't know. I don't get when people take it this seriously.
It's incredible. It's honestly incredible. And we have more incredible stories for you when we return. Also, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/sticky. You get the show a day early.
STIKKI.
I do a show called Crypto Corner every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We talk deep on crypto stuff. We also do a free roll poker tournament and live streams every month. Also, our Discord community is unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
You're not living until you're part of our Discord community.
They're incredible. And you can be too.
and we will be right back.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. We just want to take a break to tell you thanks for listening to our podcast. And if you want to rate it, that would be really awesome for us.
Listen, we're on break. We're not talking to you like podcast hosts right now. We're just talking to you like people.
As a friend.
And we just want to say, please rate the show because it helps out huge amounts.
Like, we're not desperate. We're like kind of desperate.
We're giving shout outs right now to all the people who are giving it ratings. So huge shout out right now to Brian Jorgensen. That was sick of you, dude. Thank you. God bless. Huge shout out right now to Mark W. in Springfield, Connecticut.
Back to our podcast.
Jenny Blythe.
Hey, back to our podcast.
In Tuscany,
and
Florida.
Back to our podcast.
God bless you. Thank you.
Steven.
Thank you for supporting the show. And we are back.
Hi.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah. Especially Brian Jorgensen.
Even though he kind of blew up and we need to stop mentioning him.
Yeah,
so
we do.
He blew up and he's just not paying it back. Okay, next, am I the asshole?
Okay.
As we move through the turmoil that exists in the world.
Oh.
Am I the asshole for not wanting to pay if I could go for free?
No.
This one speaks to me, baby.
Yeah, no. You like the deals.
Love the deals. There's an upcoming festival that I wanted to go to, but I believe the ticket was quite expensive. However, as luck would have it, a friend of mine won a giveaway and received a couple tickets for free. He decided to give me one, and I could not be happier. I repeat, for free. He won them for free and gave them to us for free. I could read this all day. Now I have a girlfriend, and this guy didn't give her an invite too, as they're not that close. She wasn't okay with me going without her, so after a brief fight, she decided to buy a ticket to come with us. But as I said, it was quite expensive. Imagine you have to pay like $800 for a ticket, adding the cost of transportation, accommodation, and food. Besides the ticket, everyone would share the costs, but since we had the tickets for free, girlfriend had to buy her own. She firstly tried to make us all chime in.
I mean, like chip in.
But everyone naturally refused. She then told me I should cover half the ticket cost, but I didn't think it's fair. Having to pay $400 when I could go for free? Don't you love this guy?
Yeah.
I love this guy. I understand it's a heavy lift. Like, he's like, I'm going for free.
Yeah. It takes away.
It takes away the joy.
Yeah.
But I'm going for free. I understand it's a heavy lift on her, but these are just the facts. I didn't ask the guy to invite me, and I couldn't argue about inviting my girlfriend too. I wish to go with her, of course, but it is what it is. I'm going for free. I explained this to her and told her that $400 is a considerable amount for me, and she called me unsupportive and an asshole. I sort of understand her frustration, but I think she overreacted. We're not kids anymore, and we can't always have everything as easy as the others.
Yeah, I don't think you're an asshole, to be honest. I think that if you wouldn't have been able to purchase a ticket for $800 or it would have been financially hard on you, and then you got it for free, why would you spend $400? And it's not a necessary thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a luxury item. It's a luxury item. And if you get a luxury item gifted to you when normally you wouldn't have been able to afford it responsibly, then yeah, it doesn't make sense for her to go buy it too and then make you pay for half of it.
Just know that, look, I don't mean to be, I'm just going to say it. Just know that this is going to impact things in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, for example, if she gets to do something cool for free, she's going to clap back with that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Immediately, and she should, because if she's at all petty.
Yeah.
And I hope she is. And second of all, it just makes you guys less of a team. It makes it more of like you guys are individuals, which is fine if you're into that kind of thing. I don't know how close you are, and I don't know if you see this as like a relationship that's going somewhere either, or if you're just fucking dating each other.
Yeah.
Or fucking and sucking or whatever, which I respect. But yeah, so just know that if this is going to be a longer term thing, that's going to be a little bit weird. That's all.
Yeah, it might come back to bite you.
Yeah.
But I think that your points are valid, especially if you were loaded, let's say you had tons of money, and you got a ticket for free. Woohoo! Who doesn't love a deal? Doesn't matter if you can afford it or not. You got it for free, and then your girlfriend wanted to go, and you could afford it, no problem. Then yeah, that'd be a different story. Right. But if it is $400 is a lot of money, for you,
bus, yeah.
Then yeah, sorry, you can come to the next cool thing. I don't know with the girlfriend.
That's fair. I think, I don't think you're an asshole.
I don't think you're an asshole.
I just think you got to think about, like, it will be used against you.
It might be used against you.
It will be used against you.
Like, if there's a cool thing that she gets, she might not.
There's always cool stuff that could happen.
That could happen, yeah.
And then this guy's going to get clapped back on.
Like, look, there's this thing that happened in the beginning of Steve and I's relationship, and I thought it was kind of an asshole move, and I haven't forgotten about it, but I've moved on from it. So you remember when... So it was like, we had only been dating each other for, I think, less than a year. I think it was less than a year. We went to Europe and Steve's, so I'm already like pretty broke. Like, this is not an era where Nikki had money. This was like an era where we don't know if we can feed ourselves, but we had enough money for this trip for us. Cause at the time, again, we weren't married. We had just started dating each other. It was very separate. Everything was like paid for separately. Yes. Like, sometimes Steve would pay for dinners if we went on a date and stuff. And like, that was, he wanted to, but it was very like, we pay for our own things at that time. And we go to Europe, and it was a trip that was like gifted to us.
We weren't living in the first place when we were going to Europe, were we?
Yeah, we were living together.
Oh, we were living in the first place, or
the Van Nuys place. Okay, that helps. The one that was attached to a funeral home.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was very tiny. It was a closet.
Yes.
We weren't like
funeral home days.
Steve was making a decent income.
Yes.
And I was in a transition period where I had not. There was like later in the year I got a bunch of income, but like at this point, no. Okay. And so anyway, we go to Europe, and it was paid for by actually Tipsy Bartender fans. Like we were doing a Tipsy Bartender tour, and it was all like paid for, not like the nicest places, but like, I wasn't going to have to pay out of pocket. So I only had to cover like meals, right? Yeah. Well, Steve's debit card gets eaten by the ATM machine. Yeah. Steve's already having like a terrible time, and I think he manifested this happening to him because his negative ass energy. But his card gets eaten, and he like knew it was going to happen before it happened too. Like, it's because it's one of those things. Like, you just know, because your energy is just vibing negatively. Like, anything that's bad that could happen happens, right? Yep. So
I did say it out loud.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He gets his debit card eaten. So now I have to cover both of us. Yeah. Right. And I have enough to cover both of us barely. Like, it's hard, but I can do it. But Playlist Live was after we came back, that was going to be like, we had a day in between, and then we were going to go to Playlist Live. Yeah. Well, I had to buy my own ticket. Steve got it for free because it was covered by Maker Studios at the time. He got it for free. And the money that I was going to use to pay for my own flight there, because if I got there, I would be able to stay in his hotel room. I wouldn't have to pay for a hotel. But the money I was going to pay for the flight, I had to spend on him instead in Europe. And he didn't even offer to pay for my flight to Playlist.
You know why?
Because he didn't think it was worth it.
People shouldn't pay to go to Playlist Live.
Yeah, he didn't think it was worth it. It was his own principle thing.
You're goddamn right.
And
nobody should fucking pay to go to Playlist Live.
I was so hurt. Like, I was so bummed I couldn't go.
I was doing you a favor.
But he
you
decided.
Don't want to stay at the Caribe Royale.
But he decided for me.
Yeah,
and I was going to spend my own money on it, and instead I had to pay for his dumbass in Europe.
When you take a shower at the Caribe Royale, it feels like you didn't take a shower.
The thing is, I had never been to Playlist, and everyone said it's like, everyone did not have a great time there. But but I wanted to be with them not having a great time. I just wanted to be included.
I got that later.
And anyway, he robbed me of that. Yeah, and good.
Well, also, I was paying for the rent back then. Yeah, that was me. Like every month at the Van Nuys place.
We were playing 50-50
at the Van Nuys place.
Yeah, because it was so cheap. Like,
yeah, it was really cheap.
Yeah, I think you paid for the first month.
I thought I paid for like the first 6 months.
You paid for the first. No, it was like the first month or two.
First couple months. For sure.
Well, I don't remember, but
yeah, it's okay.
We had a deal worked out. Regardless, I was planning on using
I just refused to pay because the tickets were $1,000.
No, it was $400.
Wait, no, round trip. It was like $1,000. No,
I wasn't gonna pay
no. I remember it was like $1,000. It was like $800 for your plane ride.
I thought I distinctly remembered 400.
No, it was like almost a grand. I was like, this is like the fucking rent here, because that was a cheap place. We're living in a
No, our rent was $400.
It was a good deal. It was a good deal.
It was $800 a month for our rent. Yeah. So like
good deal.
Yeah, like $400.
Almost free.
But Yeah, like I was really
it was
bummed.
just the principle.
This was like an am I the asshole type of.
This is totally an am I the asshole. This is a good one
so
too.
that's why I brought it up, because that sort of reminded me of, if Steve hadn't had everything taken care of for free, he wouldn't have paid for it himself.
No way.
Since it was free,
I'm never paying for Playlist Live.
I wanted to pay for it, but then I couldn't because I had to pay for him in Europe.
That's definitely the most controlling thing I've ever done. Where I'm like,
you made the decision.
Yeah, I'm like, we are not paying for Playlist Live. It's not going to happen.
But
I'm right, by the way.
No, you're right. I mean, in
retrospect,
in value terms, in terms of value,
exactly,
you're right. But in terms of like what I got robbed of a decision where I had already wanted to spend my own money.
That's fair.
On it.
That's fair.
But it reminded me of that. It's not quite the same situation.
No,
obviously,
because that's a good memory.
This is like
I forgot about that.
This is a funny thing that happened that I remember being like, I didn't get to do that because Steve.
Oh shoot! The whole time I'm there, dude, this bitch is like so fucking pissed.
Well, because he didn't answer. There's a lot of other things that happened. Like,
well, yeah, I wasn't answering my phone because I was banging all these tubers.
Yeah, he was banging all these tubers. Yeah. He wasn't answering his phone because he was getting drunk and at this thing that's so terrible. He was having a great time at a party, apparently getting too drunk to answer his phone.
I couldn't hear it. I wasn't getting too drunk to answer it. I couldn't hear my phone.
Meanwhile, a glass, like I'm like looking at the party, like can't be part of the party, 3,000 miles away, looking on Twitter. And I don't think we had Instagram back then. It was just Twitter, and like looking at people having a jolly good time. And I'm just like, hi, I wasn't allowed to go, and my boyfriend's not picking up his phone.
I had to be there.
He's having a jolly time.
I had to be there. It wasn't fun.
I'm stuck
it's never fun. You know, it's not fun.
I'm stuck at a room that's attached to a literal funeral home with fucking ghosts that my cat's meowing at.
True.
Alone. In fucking Van Nuys.
The fun part
and you're telling me that I wouldn't have had a good time somewhere else at a party getting drunk too drunk to answer my phone.
You went to what, 7 of them after that? You tell me if it was worth
out of spite.
Yeah.
And I had a great time.
Yeah.
Out of spite.
Dude, remember when we got the JK crew to go? And then they were like...
I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
Remember, you were missing me the whole time.
Yeah, you were out of town.
Yeah, I forget what it was. I think I booked a commercial or something. Yeah. I think it was in like, I think I was in Vietnam.
You were in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was missing you. I
was in Nam. No, but truth be told, I actually had a great time at Playlist. I had worse times at VidCon.
Oh yeah, VidCon's terrible.
But I actually had a good time at Playlist. Maybe because we were in a different state. We went to Disney World the first time I went.
That was sick.
But it was paid for all the other times that I never paid for Playlist. Exactly. But there was like free swag, like I got free makeup and stuff. I had a great time every time I went to Playlist.
It's a great time when you know it's free.
And it was, the drinks were free.
Yeah, when it's free.
Yeah, that's true.
And when we got Alley Cat like getting us more drink tickets and shit.
Would I have felt it was good if I paid
$25 a drink? And you paid to get there?
$1,000 for the trip or whatever?
Exactly.
No. But
free made it fun.
I manifested a free playlist for the next 7 years.
And they ended up moving it from the Caribe Royale. Huge shout out to that move because that was a great move.
I never played there. I never.
You never went there.
Why do I say play there? Like I playing poker there.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've never stayed there.
No, nobody should. The building should be condemned.
Yeah, the only one I stayed at had a water slide in the pool.
Exactly.
It was fucking
that was sick. See, but then you're not at Playlist Live. You're at the hotel, and that was fun as fuck.
That's true. I actually don't think I've ever set foot in the actual Playlist Live, like the
main floor or whatever
event center or the place that people pay tickets to go to.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever been. It was only the back, back where all the back parties are.
Yeah.
And I had a great time.
Well, there you go. That was better because it was free. So there you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I made a decision for both of us, and it was worth it.
I didn't like it. I think you're the asshole.
Okay, that's fine. I've heard that before. Okay.
I also met Nate for the first time in Europe on that trip.
I know, that's random. Such an interesting story too. That you met my brother for the first time in Germany.
Yeah, like he just
who says that?
He just like rolls up out of the fog.
Yep, he really did. He walked out of from a train too.
He's like, "Hi, I'm Steve's brother."
Yeah, from a train in the middle of the real coldest winter I've ever had. Okay, next one. Am I the asshole for not giving my married friend a +1 to my wedding?
Yeah.
Right. It's already pretty.
Oh, so they don't like the spouse.
So here we go. I am 33. I'm getting married next summer. I invited a friend from university to my wedding, but intentionally did not give him a +1 for his wife.
Yeah, that's an asshole move.
His wife and I do not get on. She attended university with us, and we had our fair share of fights and a rather large fuss some 5 odd years ago. We live on opposite sides of the country for that reason. No. And only see each other a couple times a year, if that, for special occasions like other friends' weddings. His wife and I can be generally cordial now. We mostly avoid or ignore one another. They got married around 4 years ago. I was not invited to their wedding.
Oh.
My friend told me in no uncertain terms that he wanted me there, but his wife did not, and that he chose to respect her wishes on her big day. Jesus, what did you guys do?
Yeah, this is crazy.
I was disappointed but understanding, and I never let it affect our friendship. I'm having a big wedding, and all guests with spouses, fiancés, serious boyfriends, girlfriends are getting +1s, except for said friend. It's not a numbers issue. I simply do not want his wife in attendance. See, this is what happens when you do petty things. It comes back to bite you. I'm telling you, man. You got to think about it.
I totally get that now, but I just wouldn't invite. Well, I'll let you continue.
Yeah, okay. I have considered the likelihood that my friend will RSVP no, given the lack of a +1, but I'm okay with this outcome. I have no intention of telling him ahead of time that most others are getting a +1, but I'm aware that he is most likely going to find out. My fiance and I obviously discussed this matter, and she's fully supportive of this decision.
Yeah.
Other friends that I've spoken with tell me that I'm being ruthless and basically should not have even invited my friend if I was going to give him if I wasn't going to give him a +1.
That's actually my opinion on it. I don't think he's ruthless. I actually think it's tit for tat.
It's tit for tat.
I don't think it's ruthless at all. But if it really is eye for an eye, then don't invite your friend at all. I think that once someone gets married, for better or for worse, they are an item now. Like they're a family. They're one person. Like you should treat them like if one's getting invited, you should assume the invite for the other, or just don't invite either of them
because they're married. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, I mean
that's like so petty. Setting an invite with the 1 on it.
Yeah,
is insane as a move, though.
Yeah.
As a move, that is insane.
As a move, I think his friend would understand just not being invited at all.
Well, right.
He wasn't invited to his wedding, so...
But this is a petty move in years in the making.
For sure.
Like, this is like, oh, you don't invite me? Okay, don't just remember this shit.
See, with all that history...
Ooh, it's good.
I think the friend should understand. Like, I honestly don't think it's that much of an asshole move. Like, I with all the history behind it. But...
yeah, they can't stand each other. Good Lord.
No, I think it's very even. But actually, you're being nicer by inviting the friend. But I just don't think that.
But is he being nicer by inviting the friend, or is he sticking the knife in a bag, in a brown bag? He's brown bagging the knife and taking it right up the gut.
Well, I could justify it by being like, you know how you didn't invite me at all to your wedding? Well, I care about you enough as a friend to invite you to mine, but I don't want to be near your wife.
I'm a bigger man, and I'm going to invite you to my wedding.
Yeah.
But don't have that bitch come, please.
Yeah.
Do not have that bitch come.
Yeah.
She'll be thrown out. Also, what happens if you do show up and like you don't have a +1? They just kick you out of the wedding? They're gonna.
What do you mean?
Well, like if you got invited to a wedding and then I just showed up with you.
Yeah.
What happens?
Look,
I get refused at the door?
I genuinely don't know because I did not have experience with weddings before my own wedding, as you know.
Yeah.
And people did do that.
Yeah.
And I had to be like taught like what was okay and not etiquette wise because I just didn't know. Like to me, it was like, yeah, sure, bring your friend. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like we couldn't invite a lot of our friends, but it was also because I considered that they each get a +1.
Right.
It wasn't just inviting that friend. Right. It was considering that they get a +1. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, if you're invited to a wedding, you at least get a +1.
Accurate.
Maybe not a +2 or 3, but like a +1 seems like it just goes with the territory.
I agree with you.
Most people are looking for a date to be their +1 at someone's wedding.
I want people to have fun at my wedding, so I want them to bring someone they'll have fun with.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're not going to know everybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though our wedding was kind of like Playlist Live because we had all these tubers there.
But you just said you don't like Playlist Live.
Well, it wasn't free. I had to like it.
The bar was free.
No, our wedding was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, our wedding was awesome. But no, it was like all the tubers were there and stuff.
Yeah.
More tubers than my own family. Thanks a lot, assholes.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of people that I wish we had invited if we had known that so many people that RSVP weren't going to show up.
I know, and if it was only a couple months later, the JK crew could have come and stuff.
I know, just so many.
It's funny.
Missed boats.
Yep. It's okay. We'll do it again at the 10-year.
Yeah, we're gonna have a 10-year vow renewal.
Yep.
It's gonna be sick. It's going to be Vegas style.
Vegas style, lit as fake.
Yeah. I should start working on sponsorships for that now.
I know, right? Well, that's all the time we got for today, folks.
If I built my brand into a 10-year vow renewal specialist,
that's
so
really
like
funny.
that's my brand, so that like these sponsors, will want to sponsor that.
It's really good. Really, really incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you like the show, nothing helps the show more than being part of our Patreon, patreon.com/sticky. And
sharing with your friends.
Oh,
that really
exactly.
helps. Yeah.
That helps so much.
Helps a lot.
In fact,
you guys are
last
awesome.
year we were one of the most shared fucking podcasts ever.
Yeah, that was really surprising and exciting to hear.
Yeah,
like, thanks for sharing that. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
We've been around for 5 years now, over 5 years, this podcast, and we'd like to keep going.
We're still here, baby.
So there's that.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. We
Love
appreciate
you.
Love you guys.
Talk to you. Bye.